Happy Spiritual Sunday. Are you happy? Yeah. Why are you happy?
To be alive.
Oh, there you go. All right, to be alive. How many of you woke up this morning? That's it. You didn't wake up this morning? What, are you figment of imagination? But, the Kabbalists teach us the first moment you wake up, ideally, for our benefit. Nothing is for the benefit of the Creator. Nothing is for the benefit of, I don't know, whatever you want to call it out there, God or something. No. Everything in this world, as we're going to talk about, is in our benefit, not anybody else's. So you wake up in the morning to already be appreciative that you woke up, and there are people around the world who didn't, right? At least wake that up so your day is already starting on the right foot. Even though you got out of bed on the wrong side, you could start out on the right. I like that. You guys are great. You get out of bed on the wrong side, which I can never figure out which side is that, right or left. But even if you get out of bed on the wrong side, you can then start your day on the right foot. And that one we know, yes? How many of you are not sure which is your right foot? Boy, how about you online? Anybody online know what the right foot is here? I think they're in a quandary or something, right? Okay, here. Virginia, Cape Town, Hong Kong, Boca, Portland, Macedonia. Okay, so let's get started because I don't want to overrun your patience. So we'll start as we do every Sunday. For those of you in the room, it's on the screen. For those of you online with us, let me make sure my fingers are not hiding the words. We want to raise our consciousness and actually raise it by awakening a greater depth of what the Creator's implanted inside of us. So together, we say our affirmation. Consciousness is everything. I raise my consciousness today to see the miracles and wonders of life. I commit myself to behave with greater love, compassion, and kindness towards all human beings. Did anyone catch what we just said? That I acknowledge greater miracles and wonders. Even the fact you woke up yesterday, right? And you woke up today. So is it really a miracle? Most people say, oh, ho-hum, I've been doing that for X number of years, right? I wake up every day. Yes, but do we realize it's a miracle every day that we wake up? Because not everybody does. Or you wake up and you're actually in a house. Look what's going on around the world. Someone just told me, and I had to go look it up, what happened in Maui. Right? Can you imagine? People sitting there like every day for the last 10, 20 years, they wake up in the morning, they have their breakfast, they go to work, they come back, like this, right? For years and years and years. And all of a sudden, one day they wake up and there's this fire, and some people lost their lives, some people lost their property, things like that. So why do we believe that it's the same old every day we wake up? Why? Because that's what the voice of that opponent in our head does. And let's get right into it. For those of you who are newer, it will be a revelation to you. Those of you that have already taken Kabbalah 1, it should be awakening in a higher level. So, because I want to talk about the ultimate conspiracy. And notice what word I left out. Theory. This is a conspiracy fact, and it's universal and ultimately eternal relative to us. So let's get into it, as everything does start in the endless world before the Big Bang. So in the simplest terms, the Creator, which is infinite fulfillment, infinite blessing, eternal bliss, wanted to give of itself, that energy of eternal bliss, all bless, everything we could just be blissed out, wanted to give it away. So created something called the vessel, the one soul of humanity, the one infinite vessel, and in the endless world filled that one of which we are all a part with this infinite light. The infinite light of all the goodness, eternal bliss, infinite peace, harmony, all the good things we could imagine. So now think about it. So there we are, and again, collectively, let's say the soul of humanity, I was going to say body, but we didn't get yet to the physical world. The endless world, one soul, that had 8 billion subdivisions, but in the endless world, you didn't see that. The subdivision only show up in the physical world, right? But like our body, can you see, if I look at you, you look at me, do you see all of the individual organs in my body? Or do you in essence just see the one body? Okay, someone in the room says they have x-ray vision, they see the organs, okay? But you see the one body. So in the same way, there was one soul with those 8 billion parts within it. Now, think in this world, it may be you and I, it may be other people, but there's generally a story that we hear, you know, people, children, let's call it, children of very successful people, or of people who are controlling, right? Sometimes those children, as they grow up, they don't want to just live in the shadow of their parents. The success they made, whatever power they have, whatever it may be, they want to be independent. They want to be self-made, right? Can you relate to that? Want to be self-made. Don't want to just sit back. Some of us probably already going, no, I'd be happy just to sit, you know, maybe have a big trust fund, or maybe, you know, they're always taking care of me, give me what I want. That'd be really great. But at some point, you and I, in our life already, to some extent, have not been satisfied with that. We've sought out some way to assert my individuality, who I am, what capability and abilities and talents I have. Are we all with that? So now imagine, here we're basking in the endless light, and we start to wake up and say, no, 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 I want to be independent. I don't want to just be here a receiver. And it's not that the Creator didn't want to give. It's not that even those parents didn't want to give. But from our point of view, we didn't want to just sit and receive. But the fact that we are vessels with the desire to receive the light, which is total eternal bliss, but we're also filled with the light, which is the energy of shining and sharing, that's what free will is. That's the origin of our free will. The ability to receive, use our vessel, the ability to share, using the light. So then what did we do? We went out on our own, just like these children in our example might do. They might leave their home and go out on their own. Again, it doesn't have to be in bad terms, just simply they want to make their own way. They want to feel it's their effort to exercise their free will, use their talents and ability to achieve their true experience of bliss. Because if you're just sitting and receiving from other people, it's nice, it's nice, it's nice. But at some point, don't we all say, there's no free lunch? Why? I'll take a free lunch, right? You want to take me to lunch? Okay. Or they give you 2 for 1. How many of us will pass up 2 for 1? Which in essence, free lunch, no? But at some point, it's no longer satisfying. You can eat the free lunch, you can enjoy the food, but it's really not satisfying. Because you didn't do anything to earn it. You didn't make your own effort to be independent. So we, the one vessel, the one soul of humanity, we decided we wanted to create an arena, a place where that we could earn. We could make an effort to overcome the receiving part, which is the comfortable, right? If somebody just wants to give us everything all the time, it's comfortable. I sit and do nothing, but eventually it's not comfortable. So we, and this is probably, if you're newer, it's one of the hardest things to take out of the old way of thinking. Because I don't care what religion you grew up in or how much of a religion you grew up in, but we've all heard that idea, this life or past lives, the Creator created this world and the Creator runs the world. Wrong! It's wrong! We created this world. We're the ones who left the endless world to seek independence, our own success. So everything in this world is a creation of us collectively and the choices we make. Go back to acting like the vessel, give me. And again, it doesn't have to be in a bad way or, you know, the negative ways we might think of, but just, I'll take care of me, myself, and I. That's, Kabbalistically, it's not beneficial to the person who tries to do that. It's not just it's not spiritual or ethical or whatever. No, it's detrimental to oneself. So we came here to do one thing, act like the light, act like the Creator, imitate the Creator. Simple, which means the Creator had light, shared it. So we want to do the same thing. We're containing light in our soul. We would just want to share it also. Plain and simple. So we came here to do that. But in this world, how do you exert an effort? Okay, let me think of another example. If you, okay, we used to say the Magic Golf Club, but let's call it the Magic Basketball. You have a Magic Basketball, you're out on the team, you're playing in the NBA, you just grab the ball, you throw it up in the air, close your eyes, whatever, right in the basket. And every time you just throw the ball up, basket, basket, basket. So of course all your team is giving you the ball because you just throw it like this. It goes in 2 points, 3 points, whatever. You win the game? Yes. Do you feel victorious? No. Why not? Because in essence you had no opponent. Even though there was another team on the floor, but there was no challenge to beat them. You didn't have to exert an effort. You just blindly threw the ball up like this. At first maybe it feels great. You won the championship, but after a while you're bored. No? You get the idea? So we, not the creator, we created an opponent and we implanted it in our head. And what's the power of the opponent? To make us think of ourselves alone. My business, my job, my family, my community, whatever, my status, my whatever. And again, not in a overt, let's say selfish, egotistical way, but just like most people are slowly trained. I have to get a good education so I can get a good job, so I can make a good living, so I can have nice things. And I can even maybe give in help a little bit. Okay, sounds nice. That's probably 90% of the people on earth. Just want to be nice, have their living, and go about their business, right? Not be bothered by anybody else. But Kabbalistically, it doesn't work. Because why? When we came out of the endless world and we split into 8 billion physical bodies, there's still only one soul. So that opponent in our head that we programmed is there just putting up opposition from doing what? Transforming ourselves from vessel to behaving like the light. In the endless, we were created as a vessel of the light of the Creator. Yes, that's our inherent nature. That's why babies, how many babies, even let's say at 2, 3, 4 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, I don't want to go further, but sometimes 15, 18, 35, 40, but how many babies at 5 years old look at mom and dad and say, you know, mom and dad, you've been so great to me, let me just share. Sit back, I'll make you breakfast, I'll take care of the dishes, I want to do everything for you. No! What do we do from the moment we're born, basically? Give me. Take care of me, feed me, change me, right? Give me all this stuff. Toddlers, give me. Teenagers, give me. They're already smiling, right? So let's just stop there, right? But we all know a lot of adults, it's still kind of give me. No, we came to take the light inside of us and use our ability of sharing light with other people like the Creator did. And what does the Creator have? Infinite bliss. So if we imitate the Creator, we'll also have infinite bliss. But it has to be a challenge, or you don't experience the true victory over the opponent, and therefore you don't experience the true lasting fulfillment. And how many of you would look at the world, these people in Maui, just the latest thing in our minds. Okay, maybe for 35 years they were there, had a great time, go to the beach, it's Hawaii. But how many now want to be over there? How many of you and I would like to be in this situation that was going on recently? No, but 35 years, 40 years maybe, 20 years, they all enjoyed Maui, Hawaii, even people over here were envious. Wow, I wish I could do that. You want to be in their place now? No, temporary. 35 years is still temporary. 100 years is still temporary. 1,000 years could be temporary. Because at 1,000 years in one day, it all falls apart. Meant it was temporary. We want lasting. The light is infinite. Lasting bliss. That's what we're here to get. But we have to use our free will to overcome that opponent. And the opponent is not outside. As I'm about to give you some examples, the opponent is in our head. What's the first line of our affirmation? The first 3 words. Consciousness is everything. How come it doesn't say, I don't know, money is everything, fame and fortune is everything, I don't know, a good car is everything, a nice person in your life? No, consciousness. Consciousness, because the way we think is the way we act. Not the way we act, the way we think. The cause is our thinking. Like we said, person wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, their thinking is in a bad mood. So everything in the rest of the day will be tainted with a bad mood. Person gets up on the right side of the bed, Okay, then mean what? They're in a good mood. Their thinking is in a good mood. So even some of the challenges that come along the way aren't creating that overt stress, anxiety, chaos. No, okay, it's something you have to deal with, but what was the song? Whistle while you work, right? So you're sort of just going through it a little easier because the consciousness, not because of the external factors, our consciousness. So then what's our real free will? Act like the light or not act like the light, right? Listen to the voice of the opponent in our head or listen to the voice of the soul in our head. Okay, you ready for a few examples? Or you already got it? You reading my mind? Reading my notes? Okay, for the people online who can't do that. Okay, all right, let's move this away. Okay, so here, business. So the challenge comes up, whatever it is, and in business there's thoughts of failure, person's not good enough, nobody's done it before, it'll never work. You get that kind of thinking, the half-empty kind, okay? So then we have two choices. Listen to the voice of our soul, listen to the voice of the opponent. Acting like the light, acting like the vessel. What could that be? So all these bad thoughts about the business, oh, they're downsizing, what's going to happen, whatever. Okay, so there's from the opponent, quit the job, quit doing that, don't go down that path anymore. Or cheat, why not? If everything's going bad and everybody's out for themselves and they're trying to cheat you, why not cheat them back? Or maybe worse than that even, settle for less. Just settle for less. Okay, I'll just stick to what I am. I had visions of things I could do. I really had this powerful idea for making things better and, whatever, expanding a business, whatever. Nah, settle for less. Just be happy where I'm at. Or listen to the voice of the light. Know that the light already planted in us success, abundance, the right ideas, meeting the right people. And because nobody's done it before, so you'll be the first and you'll benefit the most. Is that also a possibility? But you already hear the voice of that opponent in your head? That's a nice idea, Chaim, but let's be practical. Okay? If I took some truth serum, I would probably tell you that be practical is one of those very annoying set of words that I hear in the center. Let's be practical. Okay, let me ask you, what's more practical than removing chaos? Anything more practical than that? Or is it more practical to hang out in the chaos, not be so happy, be less fulfilled, which is really practical? So you and I are learning the most practical wisdom, how to turn on the light, get rid of darkness. And like we always go back to, because we have to keep being reminded, how do you remove darkness from your house? You go home at night, it's dark. Turn on the light. So what's more practical? Sit in the dark and try and find your way through the darkness? Or turn on the light and then have clarity? The practical is turn on the light. So the same with the light of our soul. It's all the same thing. So then let's go to the next step. Relationships. Okay, should I skip that one? No. Okay, great. Okay, so again, the first thing, in other words, how come, like we use the NBA? Okay, we said the magic basketball, but let's look at it another way. Let's say we've really practiced. You and I are a basketball team. We really practiced. We really worked. We trained. We're ready to go out on the court. And we go out on the court, but we don't call, or whatever you want to say, bring another team to play against us. So now it's just us against an empty basketball, court. So, okay, we play. We're going to win in the same way. It may not be a magic basketball, but sure, every time you take the ball down to the other side, of course, 10, 20 times it may take you to get the ball in the net, but you'll get it there and nobody's in opposition. So again, do you feel victorious? No. So when we're talking about these things, the first thing that happens is we are triggered by some obstacle on the outside. So in a relationship, what happens? Okay, of course, you want a relationship, but then comes the trigger. They love me for my position. My money, my power, what I can do for them, what they get from me, things like that. No, never happened to you and me. Okay, just checking. So again, there's the trigger. Starting to see the half empty, all the negativity. Now we have two choices. What is the opponent putting in our head? And I just want to remind you, and if you're new, please don't shut this off and don't go back to your old way of thinking. But in Aramaic, the language of the soul, the original language of Adam and Eve and all humanity, which I don't want to get into, but you can Facebook me if you want, or start studying on Kabbalah.com and go find it. In Aramaic, the challenger, the Aramaic word for challenger is Satan, not Satan. Satan, it's just a word, means challenger, opponent, adversary. Yeah, I know, all of a sudden I can hear that the Satan in our head is going, no, that person, Chaim doesn't know them, but they are Satan. They are the devil. No, we're all part of the same soul. There's nobody outside who's our opponent. It's in our head. So like this, even the person who we had that thought, they're after me for what I can do for them, give them, etc., that's in my head. It may not even be true. But if a person puts it in their head, what do you think they're going to start to see about that other person? Even if the other person is truly just loving and caring and this, but if in the head of the other person is, they're after me for something they can get from me, then they will start to notice, oh, look, they said this word, they're after me for what I can do for them. They acted this thing, they're after because that's how we'll interpret it. Not what they're doing, but how we interpret it. So we now have two choices. Exactly like this. Let's use them. They're using me, I'll use them. Right? They're taking advantage of me, I'll take advantage of them. I don't know about you, but my parents used to spank my sister and I occasionally. They didn't spank us a lot. We got in other things, but they would spank us and tell us like this: two wrongs don't make a right. You hear that as kids, yes? Now you become an adult, you say, oh no, two wrongs do make a right. Why? Because they're cheating, I'll cheat. They're screaming at me, I'll scream at them. Right? They're doing that nasty thing, I'll do that nasty thing. And suddenly we believe that Satan in our head that says, oh, see? You screamed louder and they backed off, so you did win. Right? You got them. You showed them who's who. Okay, that's our choice. Use them or just run away. That's it. Hello, see you later, finished, goodbye. Or we can listen to the voice on the other side of our head. It says, you know what? You didn't come here as an objective to be in a relationship. That's not our objective. Our objective is, like we said, to imitate the Creator. But like a basketball game, if you don't go on the court with basketball nets and a basketball and another team, you can't play the game. So we had to come into this world, create the physical world, as a means to express our light, as a means to share our light. So regardless of what the other person is, meanwhile, I want to share my light. So I want to shine the light of love. I want to be kind. I want to be compassionate. I want to be caring that way and just shine light. Now the beauty of the light is, as I'll shine the light, like in your house. If you're sure you know on the desk is this thing you're looking for, but in the dark, you start reaching on the desk and you can't quite find it. Why? Because it's not so clear. It's dark in the room. You turn on even a little bit of light, suddenly things are clearer, yes? And you can see you're on the wrong side of the desk and the object you're looking for is on the other side. You following me? So then in the same way, let's say you're not sure. You don't want to think they are, but okay, the opponent telling you, yeah, they're after what they can get from you. You shine light. Kindness, compassion, love doesn't mean you're the dish rag, doesn't mean you're taken advantage of. That's also a lie of the Satan, that opponent. Because light can never be taken advantage of by the darkness, can it? How many of you have ever gone into a room filled with light at a party? You don't like what somebody did, so you pull out of your pocket a flash dark and you shine it on that person so their light disappears and now they're stuck in the dark and they can't move forward and they trip over things. Is there such a thing? Yeah, you're all laughing because no, there's no such thing. Darkness cannot overcome light, But light overcomes darkness 100% of the time. So as you turn on the light of compassion and kindness, and again, you can still hold, what do they call it, your boundaries with that person, but in a light, loving way. But as you're shining the light, you will have clarity. Maybe it was only your Satan in your head that was saying they were taking advantage in this and this, and you were mistranslating some of their actions, and you see, wow, they really are in a true circuitry of love and kindness and light. Or you turn on the light bright and you do see, yes, that is all they're doing. They're trying to take advantage. But light and darkness repel. Light and darkness will attract, but light and darkness will repel. So if you're being more loving and kind and they're being more, what can they get from you? You'll repel naturally. They'll find a way to go away. You'll find a way to go away. Or somehow naturally, just part ways, because opposites will repel. So it's to our greatest practical benefit to shine light on people. Practical. Okay. And then the last thing, which is really the big picture of this world today. How many of you look at the world and see chaos? Chaos, divisiveness, intense hatred, violence, anger, judgment, greed, blah, 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 all that stuff, right? All the bad stuff. We see it. Okay, so the same thing. You look at the world. Oh my God, the world's in total chaos. It's going to hell in a handbasket. There's no hope for this world. Blah, 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 all that stuff. Yes? Not that maybe you've heard it from people around you, right? Not us. We're students in the center. But you see the world. You see chaos. And I'm not trying to not deny it. You follow? I'm not saying close your eyes and just pretend it's all great and wonderful. No. We've got to see what's there, because that's all our resources to put things back into unity, which is our only reason here. Act like the Creator. So the Creator created one vessel, one soul, filled it with light. So our job is to see with our physical eyes, let's say the 8 billion bodies, but with the eyes of our heart, the Zohar calls it, to see one human or one body of humanity. So 8 billion people are like a jigsaw puzzle. You put it together, you have the one being of humanity. So each of us are a part of that one being. The same way, all the organs in our body are part of our body. They have to be united, they have to function in unity, and they have to function to their highest, to their potential. Then our one body is healthy and vital and happy and all that good stuff. So the body of humanity is the same way. If a person disconnects themselves from the soul of even 50 people in the world out of 8 billion. Like I told the class on Wednesday, how many cells, heaven forbid a zillion times, but how many microscopic cells does it take to turn cancerous, heaven forbid a billion times, to eventually kill somebody? How many? One. One microscopic cell that turns, left unchecked, will then multiply till, heaven forbid, it kills the person. But it starts with one microscopic cell that nobody on earth physically can measure, detect, etc. But my mother died that way. One cell turned. She didn't do anything about it for various reasons, blah, 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 and eventually it killed her. So then you and I cannot afford to not be sending light to connect to the light of the one soul which we all need in all 8 billion people on the planet. We cannot afford, in practical terms, to not send light to even one of them. And again, you don't have to hang out, you don't have to be friends, you don't have to be in their environment, but from my point of view, I have to practically, for my benefit, send light to 8 billion people. Because it's my soul. It's all part of my microcosm or macrocosm of my human body, the body of humanity. So then we look at the world, you could say, okay, either again, focus on myself, what can I get, do everything that I want, try and enjoy myself for the time I have in this world because of all the chaos in the world. Or the opposite, which is ultimately the whole mission of the Kabbalah Center. Wake people up to understand, like what we just said, everybody is a part of the one soul. So we're on a spiritual internet that we can't disconnect from. So everybody is either impacting us with their good and bad thoughts, ideas, actions, or we're impacting them more and more with the light, which is why the ultimate goal of the center, and I know we talk about it all the time, but we got to keep being reminded, just spread the books of the Zohar in whatever form it is, because Zohar means illumination, light. It's literally a beacon or a portal, as Karen used to call it, a portal to the light of the endless world. So we want to stay connected with that infinite energy before the Big Bang from our real home, spiritual home. Simply a book of the Zohar. Have one like this to keep in your pocket, your purse, your car. Get a set of the Zohar, the sacred Zohar, whatever, put in your house. Everywhere you go that there's a Zohar, it's light removing darkness. So like one of the teachers just said, and it was so nice, so simple, 37 years, I never thought of it that way. If we're emanating light, you have a Zohar in your pocket, you keep it with you, whatever, like the sun. And this is what he said. He said, you know, the sun, when is the sun not shining light? The sun is always shining light. So even in what we call nighttime, or even when it's, you know, cloudy and overcast, etc., what is the sun? And this was the nice perspective. The sun always is in the light. The sun never has darkness or nighttime. It can experience nighttime, the disappearance of the sun, you know, the clouds take it away, whatever. Why do you wear sunglasses? So the sun's not so intense. But the sun's shining. So the same way, if we're emanating light all the time, when would we experience nighttime, darkness, chaos? We wouldn't. So like you and I have spoken about it, so when we find challenges in our life, disarray, let's change the word a little bit to help our consciousness, disarray, when things are out of order, and we're shining light, like we said, the light will illuminate how to put things back in order. That's it. It's only Satan in our head that wants us to believe there's no such thing as order. This cannot be fixed. This is terminal. Then what happens? Just give up. Like in all the ways we described it. With a business, with a relationship, with the world itself, give up. Because there's no answer, there's no solution. No, this is why we remind ourselves. Consciousness is everything, and the light is infinite. So if you're shining light, infinite light will take away limited darkness. Because darkness can only be limited. It cannot be eternal. So if we're shining light, we're like the sun. So other people, that nasty that triggered initially our feeling, they're after me, they're trying to prove they're better than me, whatever it may be. If I'm shining light, I have daylight. I have all the blessings. I have all the clarity. They, from their point of view, may be under the clouds and not see the light. But like if you fly in an airplane, right? It's dark and gloomy and rainy down on the ground, and we fly above the clouds. There's sunshine. It's clear, all that stuff. You understand the idea? We see it in practical terms in the physical world. The physical world is only a manifestation of the spiritual. So, if we can see that in the physical, the spiritual should be 1 billion times more powerful. We don't have to be above the ground, so to speak. We just have to let our light shine. That's all it takes. Let your light shine. You're always in the daylight. You're always in the clarity. You always see the solutions. That's it. But each one of these choices, now you can see, has its own consequence. Reactive, receiving behavior will breed more chaos. Proactive, where you're sharing your light, you're making the effort to share, meaning you had to walk into the dark feeling, you know, angry, hurt, jealous, guilt, shame, whatever it may be. You step in the dark, you have to turn on the light. That's when you're earning the light. That's when you're making that effort to be independent, so to speak, right, and make it on your own. So both of them have consequences. Now, here's the conspiracy part. You ready, or should we wait for next week? So it's a universal, and it's been since the Big Bang, and it will be until we use the conspiracy in its highest and best way for heaven on earth. But here's how it goes. We talked about this Satan, the adversary. But remember, also I want to throw out there, this opponent, like in any whatever challenge, let's say even basketball. We've used basketball today for some reason. Not that I'm really a basketball player. But when you're playing basketball against another team, Anybody not, well, okay, you'll get the idea. The other team, do they just play the same play over and over again? No, they have a lot of different ways they will try and beat you or block you, right? So this Satan that we put in our head, also part of its challenge, part of its programming was to create different, what's the word? Like disguises, different persona. So one persona is Satan or the devil, the evil inclination, the angel of death, Lucifer, you go all those names like that. It's still just that, it's the persona, the false persona or the project of that one opponent energy in our head. And all are the same thing, to make us look outside instead of inside, to make us fight on the outside instead of the inside, make us feel divided. Like we often say, if there really was God and the devil, as people understand, unfortunately, the corrupted idea of the devil, if the devil had equal power to God, what would the universe look like? Why would the devil, if it had equal power, let the sun and the moon and the stars go in their perfect, harmonious cycle? It wouldn't. Here and there, wouldn't it throw in chaos? One day it's 8 in the morning, and it's pitch black because the moon is out and not the sun. You follow things like that. Or one day gravity works and the next day gravity doesn't. So everything in your house starts floating like this, and then when gravity comes in, boom, it's a whole mess. You got to clean every day, 5 times a day, because the devil's fighting with God. You understand? No such thing. Gravity is gravity. The laws of the universe, the laws of the universe. Satan is only the program we put in there to say, think of yourself. Ego, fear, greed, insecurity, lack, judgment, all that stuff. That's it. So the fight is here, not out here. Not out there. So, but we have that programming in us. And the same way, there's a Satan in my head, your head. It's all one. Because the one vessel, the one soul created one Satan. We broke up, so to speak, into 8 billion physical bodies. We all took a piece of that one programming of opposition. So then, my Satan and your Satan and all of you watching and the 8 billion people, that Satan is in cahoots, conspiracy with all the other ones. So what happens? Have you ever had a day where something frustrated you and you're like busy thinking of that thing, that thing, that thing? You could be going home, you could be at a social event or something, but there's still that thing running through your mind. Why did they say that? What happened at work? What's going to go? How am I going to deal with it? Ever happen like that? That you're almost not seeing the people and places around you. Okay? So the Satan in that mind is focused on this, focus, and whatever reason, suddenly that person thinking of the nasty person at work or whatever the challenge is, you go, oh, terrible. But you happen to be standing in front of one of your friends or family or whatever. So what do they hear? They hear terrible in conspiracy with the other person's, the stressed person. Now that person says, they called me terrible? I'm going to take it personally. And now we're going to have a fight. So now I scream at them. What do you mean I'm terrible? You're terrible. Suddenly they wake up. You call me terrible? Why are you calling me terrible? Right? Because they were all lost in their own thinking about work. Now they're going to scream back. Why? Because in their mind, you got 1 point and they have 0. So they got to catch up. So they scream at you. But now in your mind, they've got 2 and you've only got 1. You understand how it goes? So you're going to keep fighting, because the impetus of it was one person wasn't thinking about the physical circumstances, was thinking about somewhere, something else, and whatever they said or did. Even if it just bumped in, you're lost in thought, you bump into somebody. Okay, so the other person, again, takes it personally. Oh, you think you're better than me. You don't have to pay attention to me. I say hello to you, you don't say hello back. You follow all those kinds of things because Satan is in cahoots, conspiracy, with the 8 billion other pieces of Satan. But then at the same time, so what does that do? So imagine the fight. So when a person is acting, we said, when a person gives into their reactivity, what happens? More chaos. Because like will attract like. So if they're throwing more darkness out into the world, it's in their world, more darkness, more pain. Now, is pain a bad thing? I want us to see, because this is leading to the ultimate conspiracy. No, we don't want to have pain, but even in the physical body, if a person has a disease, we call it a disease, which is not a good thing when they can't feel pain. Why? Because Even in the physical body, pain is a warning. Cars now have this little beeper that if you go over just the line, right? If you're out of your lane, beep, 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 beep. So do you curse at it? You stupid car, why are you beeping at me? No, it's a warning that you don't want to go in the other lane where another car, you could hit them or they could hit you or something bad could happen. So pain is just an indicator where we're doing the wrong thing and could be hurting ourselves. So a little bit of pain wakes you up and you think clearly. So every time a person gives into reactivity, the pain gets a little stronger, Not a bad thing, but it's painful. And the more one tolerates the pain because they listen to the voice of their opponent, they keep blaming, see, that person made it worse, and that person made it worse, and that made it worse. No, some people have a lot of tolerance to pain. So it's going to take, heaven forbid, huge amounts of pain to wake them up. You and me, hopefully, a little bit, no, all of a sudden we go, oh, what can I do to change? I don't want to change. So even pain leads to transformation. Pain leads to transformation, meaning to act more like the light, which will lead us on the path to heaven on earth, which is our ultimate goal and objective. God created heaven in the upper worlds, let's call it. Our job is to imitate the Creator and create heaven down here. So pain will eventually drive people to the Garden of Eden, to heaven on earth. How much pain it takes is up to the person, right? A little bit of intolerance to the pain, a little bit, oh, I'll change. Some people, big tolerance, a lot more. Now, at the same time, there's one soul. So my soul is in conspiracy with all of yours. So as we learn class 2 in Kabbalah 1, my soul, for my benefit, will reach out to the souls of other people, the souls, not the mind, the souls of other people, and say, look, let's not say me, because, okay. Joe Smith has an issue with jealousy. So the soul of Joe Smith says, no, jealousy is a bad thing, causes him trouble, problems, negativity. So the soul of Joel Smith, why is it Joel? I'm trying to think who I can think of, Joel. Okay. Joe Smith will reach out to the soul of Mary Williams, let's say, and reach out in conspiracy. Now here's Mary Williams, who is not expressing all of her soul, but she likes to show off. Okay? So now Joe Smith's soul is in conspiracy with Mary Williams' soul, and they come together. So now Mary Williams is showing off to Joe Smith, and what is happening? Pushing his reactive button of jealousy. Because the soul wants to act with gratitude, happiness for his own good, happiness for her good, blessings like that. So the soul's in conspiracy to give us a chance to transform voluntarily without the pain and suffering. Is everyone clear on that? But Joe Smith has to take advantage. Kabbalah 1, feeling jealous, pause. Say, no, I want light to come to me, so let me shine out to Mary Williams, happiness for her good, gratitude for all my blessings, things like that. Now, like will attract like. So more blessings of good and happiness and gratitude will come Joe Smith's way. Like will attract like. So then the ultimate is, the challenges in our life are just to show us where we're not sharing, show us where our blockages are. Person goes to the doctor, and don't quote me, whatever it is, MRI, CAT scan, this scan, all the scans they have now. Why? They're looking for the blockage. What's causing the patient to have some blockage, some pain somewhere, some bad, lack of feeling? Where's the nerves blocked? Where's the blood blocked? Whatever, looking for the blockages. So challenges in life are just to show us where our blockages are, where we're not sharing our light. But once that happens, we're shown, that's when the Satan in our head says, oh, now just react. Blame them, be a victim, be a pity party, whatever it might be. Act in a reactive way. Our soul is saying, hey, no, you can have more blessings. So you can have all the good, abundance that stays with you, peace that stays with you, love that stays with you, happiness that stays with you, protection, clarity that stays with you. That's what the opportunity is. But we have to take advantage of it. So as we close, and then we'll do our meditation, let me share with you a story that was just reminded to me the last few days. So a number of years back, there was a woman came to the center, not here in Boca, one of the other centers, and started to take Kabbalah 1, liked it and this, but was having trouble with her job. I mean, she didn't have a job and her savings were disappearing. So she goes to one of the teachers and she's, meeting with the teacher, and she starts telling him the story. And whatever reason, and bless this teacher, had the inspiration to look at her and say, well, you have to buy a Zohar. How much is it? And at this point, it was still the Aramaic Hebrew. So not even she could read it, but as you and I understand, it was the power of the light. It says $345. And she said, that's just about all I have in my savings. He says, whatever. And whatever it was that touched her heart, she said, okay, she bought the Zohar. 2 weeks later, she comes back to him. She says, so amazing. I got such an amazing job, she tells him, right? Looks like a big blessing. Right? She got this job. She flies around the country. She's training people to use this dental appliance that, she was selling, or, her company was selling, and she was training people how to use it. She's just amazing, making nice money, this and this and this. 6-8 months later, a year later, she comes back to him on a Friday, I think it was, and complaining. She lost the job. The Zohar doesn't work anymore. Right? Like the light stopped working. The infinite light that's infinite, always shining. And he, basically explained to her, no, there's got to be a good reason, right? Because light is light. By the next Tuesday, she was blessing the Zohar and blessing the fact she was fired. Because on that Tuesday, she was supposed to be on an airplane that ultimately ended up inside one of the Twin Towers. So you and I are learning not to look at the physicality, have greater certainty and trust that the light is the light, and light is always taking away darkness. So of course, in that first moment, she's fired. Of course, bad. Satan in her head is telling her, bad, what happened? Like that. The Zohar doesn't work anymore. No, it worked. It saved her life. Saved her life. So was losing the job good or bad? That's why you and I are learning, pause, just send light. Don't give in to the illusion. Don't give in to the five senses. Just act like the light. You'll always win. Because like I told you, this teacher just said this weekend, the sun is always in the light. The sun never has darkness. It never has nighttime. So the more we're shining light, the more we don't have that darkness either. Yeah, we have to handle the disarray, but if you have peace in your heart while you're doing it, it's an easy thing. When there's no peace in the heart, then even a little task seems terrible and difficult and tormenting, etc. So the ultimate conspiracy, if you haven't got it, let's make it clear, is that the entire universe conspires to help us get to heaven on earth sooner with less pain, suffering, chaos, turmoil, and death. The universe, both Satan and the light, ultimately conspiring together to help us speed up our process individually, and because the world is just 8 billion individuals connected on a spiritual internet, to speed up the process for the world. So for you and me, the question is only one thing. We are going to end up in heaven on earth. The issue is, are we going to go dragging our feet, kicking and screaming along the way? I don't want to do this. Why should I share with them? I don't want to give. I don't want to help. Or are we going to go happily and say, no, every challenge is an opportunity to shine light because it's only showing me where my blessings are hiding and I haven't taken away the curtain to see it. Imagine you have the winning lottery ticket in your pocket. You bought it, and don't give me the logistics, but it's been sitting there 6 months. It's a $10 million lottery, but you forgot you had it in your pocket. And you're struggling. Meanwhile, you're actually worth $10 million, but you're struggling because you don't remember it's there. You pull it out, you take away the curtain of forgetfulness. You go, oh, wait, I have this thing, let me check. Oh, $10 million. So we have the infinite light of the Creator inside of us. The universe, even our Satan, our opponent, the angel of death, Lucifer, the devil, is conspiring to help us, not against us. So the entire universe is conspiring. So then it's up to us, and we're learning here, sooner the better. If I can run into the entrance of my piece of the heaven on earth, I bring more people faster, because we're all connected. So I've got to just focus. How do I shine light? How do I shine light? So the faster you and I start shining light, like the Kabbalists teach us, if 5 of us are gathered and we're focused on shining light and bringing the world with us, we're affecting maybe 1 million people. If 100 of us gathering in unity that way and we're just doing our work on our level, we could be affecting 1 billion people. When there's enough unity And it doesn't take billions of people. It takes billions, let's call it pieces of light. But we can all emanate collectively, and the more of us gather exponentially. So the faster you and I commit ourselves to just do the light thing, do the light thing, do the light thing. Pause, share light. Pause, share light. Pause, share light. Don't listen to your Satan. Like somebody, you ever been on an important phone call and somebody, maybe it was the kids or whatever, somebody trying to get your attention, you say, wait, I'll get to you in a few minutes, this is an important call? That's what you tell your Satan. The voice in your head says, no, no, no. Scream at them, yell at them, say, look, you go away, I'm going to act like the light, and then we'll talk about it. Answer it, talk to it, it's talking to you, talk back. So the faster that we will unite, and the faster we will just do the light thing and share unconditionally, because we have visions of our piece of heaven on earth. We have visions of the finish line. We have visions of ourselves just the 100% shining and bright, and that's what's motivating us to run faster to the end of pain, suffering, and chaos, to run into our full light beingness, and we will bring everybody else, because the goal is shining our light 24/7. And the more we will do that, shining our light in our level, in the opportunities we have, we inspire other people to do it. We bring more people. And then pretty soon, everybody's shining light. And you know what? Satan is going to thank us. The angel of death is going to be happy. It no longer has to be the angel of death. But Satan will be able to be the angel of light that it truly is. And the angel of death will be able to be in the Garden of Eden with us, the true angel of lasting eternal light. God bless. Thank you. Okay, I just, want to throw out there, thank you. Those of you who support us, this is our opportunity, just to appreciate what you get here. Those of you online, it's the same thing. If this moved you in any way, shape, or form, just pay it forward. I mean, it's a simple concept. Give of some of your resources, supporting the Zohar project, supporting the scholarship fund, so we can bring more people, spread more Zohar, bring more light, you finish the darkness. It's not a hard concept. And this is why we always take this time, now to just bless the offering. So those of you who are here with us, just hold your offering in your hand. Those of you online, I'm going to put the link. So you do the meditation with us. Then we'll do our meditation on one of the 72 names. And again, remember, we're affecting 8 billion people. It's unconditional. So just hold it in your hands. Money is a vessel. And so what you fill it with is not only what will go out to others, but it's also what will come back to you many, many times over. Because as the center is literally holding the consciousness and the heart and soul of 8 billion people, then everything that you give and all that you do to expand and move this mission forward, you're receiving from 8 billion people on earth, which is why it's multiplied. What you give, the people's whose life you change, it's coming back to you many, 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 many times over. So we just want to put first our gratitude, appreciation for the understanding that it all comes from the Creator, and we are just conduits. We've been given by the Creator in our vessel the talents, the abilities, our capabilities, and all the resources that come from that. So with love and blessing and true, ultimate caring for the lives of every person on earth, we inject that light, that blessing, that awakening into this gift, to this contribution that will go through the power of the projects of the center to reach the heart and soul of 8 billion people in a very direct way through these teachings and through the physical books of the Zohar, to bring the end of darkness and the revelation of the eternal, lasting, infinite light of joy, peace, happiness, love, and unity. And as we send it out into the world, we know that it will go around, create a circuit that comes back to us with all the blessings we need in the exact moment we need it, through the right channels that we need. And together we say, Amen. Amen. Let them hear it. Amen. Okay. So you have on the screen, or you have here, one of the 72 names of God. Just as a reminder, what you see in front of you, Hebrew or Aramaic letters, are literally just photons, or the Rav and Karen used to call them nanoparticles of the light of the Creator. That's it. It's not about letters. It's not about a language. They are literally portals to the endless world light. So just let them be engraved in your mind's eye. The names are Yud, Chet, Vav, and together they create an energy called revealing the dark side, which doesn't mean let your jealousy, fear, and anger control you. The opposite. It means let it come out so it can be transformed into love, kindness, generosity, compassion, humility, etc. So as we understood today the conspiracy of both the light and Satan to help us, so this is the name, the energy we want to make use of. Yud, Chet, Vav. Okay? So just let the shapes and the names of the nanoparticles of light be engraved in your mind's eye. Close your eyes, sit comfortably on the chair, feet flat on the floor, hands comfortably on your lap. Taking a few deep breaths, breathing in the light of the Creator that is empowered or is carried through the breath, the physical breath we take. Breathe it in, hold it for a moment that it fills and spreads through your body and soul, exhaling through the mouth to release the tension, the blockages, and also to share that light, that added awakened light from within you out to the 8 billion souls of the one spiritual internet. Breathing in through the nose, hold the breath for a moment, exhale through the mouth. Allowing yourself to relax into the light. Letting your thoughts, your mind, your heart, your soul be focused on the light that's inside you, the light that's inside the 8 billion bodies on earth, and the light that infinitely surrounds us. Because the endless world is here now. And the more we open our heart and our mind to that truth, the more we experience it. So now let's envision together Yud, Chet, Vav, the nanoparticle portal of light to the endless world. See it just above your head. Yud, Chet, Vav. See it shining with the light from the endless world. Feel the warmth, the vibration that's shining out of it. And slowly let this energy enter through the top of your head, the Keter, or as it may also be known, crown chakra. Entering through the top of your head, and let the energy of the light, the vibration of this energy of Yud, Chet, Vav, spread through you from head to toe. Awakening in you clarity, where your blockages are, how and in what ways you are not sharing your light, towards which people, what situations you have been withdrawing or withholding your light, and thereby creating your own darkness. And so this energy of the Yud, Chet, Vav is revealing those places and giving you strength to be able to share light in the face of the darkness, whatever challenges in those situations with those people, to listen and follow the voice of your soul that is giving you inspiration, guidance, and clarity of what to do, what to say, and just the power and consciousness to fundamentally just shine light, to remove that darkness. But let's each take one place that we're now seeing clearly, that we've blocked ourselves, not sharing that light. And let's begin opening our heart and ordering our soul, commanding our soul to shine light out from us, from our heart and soul, out to that situation, to those people. Unblocking ourselves, revealing more and more of our true blessings, and illuminating and awakening those people in that situation to the truth of the light inside them, a clarity and awareness that all their blessings inside them waiting to be manifest as they will share on higher levels. And then let the light that you've shined on them in those situations shine out through them on the spiritual internet to the heart and soul of every person on earth. That we're awakening the light inside them. At the same time, we are connected to more light and less of the darkness and chaos. And as you open your vision to bigger and bigger, more expansive points of view, see the whole world surrounded in light, each person shining light. And see each person happy, peaceful, loving, in unity with everyone else. Seeing as the Creator sees, 8 billion pure and perfect beings of light, pure unity and oneness, that the energy on earth, the true vibration, is one body of humanity, one unified soul. Each of us doing 100% of our capability, shining 100% of our light, and being in pure oneness, unity, which is heaven on earth, Garden of Eden. Be thankful. Express in your way gratitude for this vision, for this new awakening, for this higher vibration of your light and your potential that you're now revealing. And commit yourself to continue in this method, to shine the light through the challenges in your life, and listen to what your soul is telling you. And commit yourself to follow the path of the light, the voice of your soul, towards the ultimate goal. Peace, love, unity, heaven on earth. Decide to be joyous on this path, to be joyous, grateful, peaceful through the process. And allowing only the light to guide you. Yud, Chet, Vav. Bringing all your darkness into the light of the Creator, of unconditional love and sharing. Allow this vision, this vibration, to be engraved in your heart, your mind, and your soul. They will always be at the forefront of your thinking, the forefront in your mind. And together we'll take one more deep breath, anchoring it, sealing it inside of us, and slowly exhale and open your eyes. Those of you online, thank you very much for joining us. I know for many of you it's 11, midnight, even 1 o'clock, some of those places, so thank you for being here. Those of you who've come here to be with us in person in Boca, thank you for joining us. Have an amazing week. Blessings of light and peace and all the goodness. And make sure you're telling your friends about what goes on here in the center. All right? God bless. Have a great week. Thank you for joining us. If you liked what you saw, subscribe to this channel that you'll be notified when we post new videos. Share the video with your friends, they can also benefit. And check out the website, www.kabbalah.com, that's Kabbalah, for hundreds of articles and classes. Wish you an amazing day, and God bless.